James, how are you, mate?
Not bad yourself.
All good, mate. All good. Well, let's dive right in. How much did you make yesterday in commission?
1K, just shy of 1K.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And what was the total for the month?
Total for the month was 2.5K, a little bit over. And cash collected like 61.5K. And obviously 3% comms on that.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning. Obviously, you joined this offer. When was it? The beginning of the month. So stuff's really started to kick on, hasn't it? The past couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I joined at the start of the month. Obviously, I mean, they'd never had a DM setter before. And whilst they did have like quite good SOPs and systems in place, a lot of this stuff was messy in terms of like tracking and kind of just all the automations and stuff like that. So it did take a while for things to kick off. And I mean, even up till now, some of the amount of qualified leads coming in has been a bit tougher. But obviously, I do have like past experience and stuff like that, so I've been able to manage and kind of obviously coming to the end of this month, it just played out a lot better.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I guess it's with anything. When you're on any kind of offer longer, you get more leads, you get more warm leads. People are going to come back to you later on. So I feel like this offer is really, really building up. I mean, you're close for people who are listening. Like, you're closing deals at well, not you, but you're setting up deals at 18K. That's pretty fucking big. And you were just telling me before off camera, potentially going to be setting deals for 50K as well, which means you'll be getting 2.5K commission per close, which is pretty mental. And again, considering the biggest thing is how old are you?
18.
Exactly. I mean, what are you doing at the moment? You're at school, aren't you?
Yeah.
Studying for A levels.
Unfortunately.
So what are you studying?
Business, DT, and media. And I mean, I personally chose them all because they're like set offs basically. So like even going into 2 years, going back 2 years, I knew none of this would be for me. And so I knew taking this path would be much better. So I chose something that would give me more time.
I mean, it's mental, mate. Like, look, at the end of the day, you want to be making more, and 2.5K in the grand scheme of things for your goals is pretty small. But the fact that you're making 2.5 grand, which is what most graduates make, maybe they make less if they can even fucking get jobs. You're doing that while studying for your A levels. So you're basically doing it part-time. Like, that's fucking impressive. Like, what do you feel like? Why do you feel like you kind of knew this wasn't for, or the normal path that wasn't for you at such a young age? Because I mean, when I was 18, I mean, I kind of had similar thoughts, but I hadn't actually actioned anything yet. I was just going out and getting pissed every weekend. Like, what actually pushed you to want to do something different?
Yeah, I mean, I started like being interested in entrepreneurship in general from probably like age 13. And so I did try a load of different stuff. And I've never had a normal job before. And so this is kind of the only thing I've knew is to do this sort of thing. The reason why I got into it as young as I did, honestly not too sure why. But yeah, I mean, this is just kind of what I've decided I want to do. And it just seems a lot more interesting to me than, I guess, the normal kind of path people do choose to take.
And I mean, I thought I had fucking balls doing what I did, like just not going to uni and trying it. But especially you're from up north, pretty small town. Is anyone around you doing anything like this?
No, I mean, and that's probably one of the reasons I don't even mention it to anyone. Because most of them, I'd say they just assume it's not true or anything like that. And that's just kind of, I mean, you can't really blame anyone for that if that's all they've seen.
Yeah.
You
can't blame people for it, but it's also like, if you think everything's a fucking scam and you think everything's not real, you're never going to get anywhere in life. Like, genuinely, you're not, because these people, they don't want to put in the work, so they blame it, they push it off, they say it's a scam because they're not going to give it a try themselves, right? And they can't comprehend someone else doing better than them, which is why they do it, right? And I'm sure you'll have loads of friends or people around you where you're from who would say similar things. 100%. So we started working together, what, end of August, start of September sort of time?
Yeah, I think it was about August, end of August, yeah, September.
Yeah. Okay. And how have you found the whole program since we started obviously working with me, the boys, the community, everything? Like, how have you found it?
Great. One of the main things that I actually like is the fact that instead of it being like a community where it's just like the only thing people focus on is business, it's literally just a group of lads who want to make money. Like it might as well just be a lads group chat. That's literally kind of how I see it, because people just throw stupid stuff in there, take the piss out of each other, that sort of thing. It might as well just be your mates in a group chat with each other. And then when it comes to like the coaching calls and all that sort of thing, it's similar as well. But when we actually want to like kind of train, if you want to call it that, people will like genuinely focus on that, and everyone can go to Ben for like feedback on calls or whatever it may be when it comes to like the actual school program and what's inside of that. I think it breaks it down a lot more foundationally to not necessarily just basing it on scripts, but basing it on what are you actually doing on a sales call? What's the idea of a sales call? You know, kind of getting a person from one part of thinking to another, if that makes sense, and understanding that that is really all that holds them back from paying in the end. So I think that breaks it down quite well.
Yeah, it's so interesting you say that, like the first bit, because I think that's the biggest thing. Because me and you, we've met a lot of people who are like young and they take themselves way too seriously. Like, you know who I'm talking about, those kinds of people, right? And to be in a group of boys who are like normal lads, but also can be fucking stupid and just say stupid shit, but also have like massive goals and be making really good money. Like, I think that balance is really good, and that's something that I was missing before. Like, do you feel like that's something that? Do you feel like that? Like that's like a big thing for you. That's been like really beneficial.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, from the age of 13 up till, well, it would have really been kind of till I joined this. I really was kind of working on my own. Didn't have anyone who was doing this sort of thing, and so I mean, I wasn't really lonely, because I mean that's just kind of not something that I'm bothered about. But to actually have people who understand what you're doing and are on the same sort of path, it is great. And yeah, like you say, a lot of people just take themselves way too seriously and think that because they have these big goals that they can't just have a laugh. Whereas if you actually want to achieve the goals that are as big as you say they are, you need to have that like kind of lifestyle as well, because you need it to be sustainable. If you're going to be this serious your whole life, it's never going to pan out the way you want it to, because you'll eventually burn out.
Yeah,
completely. So I think it's a lot better.
Like, you got to have people around you. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just saying it's like a lot better to be this way about going about it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, the people who I've met who take themselves way too seriously in this online world, they don't even do that well either. Like, they take themselves really seriously, but then I make more money than them, and I'm just fucking retarded sometimes. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you've got to have, in my opinion, I'd much rather be this person, have a laugh, have a great group of lads who all want the best for you and are all pushing you, but then can also have fun as well. Like, I think that balance is really, really key, and it's something that is really, really missing in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
But nah, it's really good, mate. I like, ever since we started working together, obviously you had a little bit of experience before, but kind of seeing your progression. Obviously there's been ups and downs, we know, but now you're on a path where you're heading in the right direction. Things are going well. You know, you just had a really good record month, which is great. So I'm looking forward to seeing December, January, February, where you end up. And you got the work ethic for it, 100%. Obviously you got A levels coming up, but fuck those, they don't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where you end up over the next sort of 6 months. I mean, what are some goals, so we can look back at this? What do you want to achieve over the next sort of 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so I think bare minimum for me, and I don't really think it's incredibly unrealistic, is I personally want to move over to Spain, or even just somewhere that actually has more people who like kind of think similar to me, by the time I leave school. And so like, I can't, just kind of basically summertime. And by then I'd like to be at 10K per month. And I think that's something that's definitely achievable for me. Because I mean, I'm at 2.5K per month now. Things are only going to compound. And obviously if I move into closing, with this offer, for example, if I stay out long enough, then obviously there's the potential to be making quite a bit of money with things. So I think 10k per month is really kind of the bottom for me.
Yeah, mate, it's true. Like, there's no reason why you can't be making more than that. And I think that that's the really cool thing about this is, like, if you stay in the game long enough and you put in the work, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you've done before. Like, you can make this kind of money. You know, you're 18 years old and you're making $2,500 a month and you're not happy with that. And that's the good thing about this. If you want to put in more work, you can, and you'll just make more money. And that's why I love it. And I feel like you love it too.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh God. Oh, it's funny. We lasted like 10 minutes with a serious conversation without us laughing. Yeah, but 10k is the goal, and I'm excited to see where you end up. And finally, if someone was, I don't know, maybe watching this, they're listening to you speaking, listening to me, and they're thinking, yeah, like I agree with these guys. I think the same way these guys do. I have different goals. I don't want a normal job. I want to try and do something different. And they're on the fence. Like, what would be your advice, do you think?
Listen, if everything else aligns, then all that's really holding you back is a mindset thing. And like, are you going to let that stop you from being where you want to end up? I think that's a stupid reason. And listen, worst case, if things didn't work out for you, like, which I know they won't, because if you actually put the effort in, then it's genuinely impossible. What's the worst that can happen? Like, you put the money in, and even if things don't play out, you end up in the same position that you were already in anyway. But you had the chance to be in a much better position that you wanted to. I think it's just stupid to not at least try and achieve your goals if you have something in mind that you want to do.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people make excuses, and you're like prime reason why people can't make excuses. People say, oh, busy with my job, busy with uni. Like, you're literally studying for your A-levels and you're still doing this on the side. Like, you are someone who just doesn't make excuses, which is something that's really, really cool. So no, mate, I appreciate it. And yeah, to 10k per month next year. Excited to see where you're going to end up. But yeah, appreciate you jumping on, bro.
Of course.